Hello, Virgos. This is your reading for the week of May 11th, or when you hear it and it resonates. And of course, it will not be for every Virgo. So, as I was asking what Spirit wanted to offer the collective, the Virgo collective, I got this image of you on a sidewalk. And you know what it's like when they've poured cement for sidewalks. And it's still fairly fresh, but there has been something that has gotten into the sidewalk. So you're walking along this newly poured or this newly hardened concrete sidewalk, and you're looking at all of the different bits of debris that got into the sidewalk. And you're walking along kind of looking at them, and not in a disgruntled way, but not in a pleased way, because it's not smooth. It's not clear. It's got a little piece of wood from the frame left over there, and it's got leaves that have fallen in, and oh, there was a dog that walked across it there, and whatever. It's kind of put your nose out of joint because you wanted a smooth sidewalk. Now, what's really interesting is I accidentally pulled from another pack, and I got, what was my role in that? I was like, ooh, okay. And then the other card, the first card that I pulled from the original pack is responsibility. So, responsibility. What was your role in any of those things that created disruption in your sidewalk? What are the things that have taken you away from that sense of flow in your life? Because that's what's happening as you're working along this sidewalk, is you are not in flow. You are stopping, and it's almost with a sense of frustration that it was the way it was. Frustration that happened. What you're being told is try to lighten up a little bit in terms of looking at these different things that have been there. Because if you can look at these things in a way where you are able to take responsibility, when you are able to see what your actions were, what your feelings were, not even just your actions, what I'm getting is what your feelings were, because what they're showing me now is the framework around the concrete, the framework around the sidewalk that held it into place. So what was the structure of your mind, of your psyche, of your value system that placed these things in the concrete? Now, this is important because what they're saying is just because things have gotten into the sidewalk that prevented it from being nice and smooth and clear doesn't mean there was really anything wrong with those things being in there. That some of them were actually really beautiful and really perfect. And if you can look at the beauty of that thing, that leaf that landed in it, and the beautiful vein work that's still in the concrete because of that leaf, and you can appreciate the beauty of the leaf, then you can get over the idea of, but it wasn't smooth. And that's what's important. So the idea that you are looking at things, and I believe many of you are already doing this or already have done this. And if I were to look at this, just from a straight life perspective, it's looking back over your life and being able to understand that whatever happened, as long as you're in resistance to whatever happened, you're never going to be able to appreciate the beauty of it. And you're not also going to be able to grieve what you need to grieve. You're not going to be able to honor your life the way it needs to be honored. And I just heard that come through, and I've got shivers. It's you honoring your life, Virgo. This is about you, because every time you look down at one of those things and you begrudge the fact that it's there, what you're in fact doing is you are, in a way, saying it's your fault. You taking responsibility, what was your role in it? It's not a way of blaming you or making you in any way to feel guilty about it. It's in fact you being able to understand that your role was an important part of what happened. that whatever happened for you, whoever you were in that moment, do your best not to resist that as the fact. And understand that whatever you might criticize based on how you think it should look, based on how you wanted it to look, it's a waste of your energy. It's not only a waste of your energy, what it's doing is it's denying the value of your life by saying it should have been different. You lived your life the way you needed to live it. You have grown what you needed to grow. Now it's up to you, because responsibility is the ability to respond. Now you get to take responsibility for looking at your life differently, looking at the past, looking at the structure, understanding it, taking responsibility in a way, being accountable. But being accountable, understanding that this was a life, this has been a life that needed to be lived. Responsibility often feels like a burden, or I would say in some cases a blame. A Course in Miracles, however, defines it as the ability to respond. This implies freedom and choice rather than a necessary duty to be performed out of unwanted obligation. How does your perception change when you look at the current responsibilities with this new definition? But further to that, when you are able to respond, that's when you get to make choices and new choices. But it also helps you understand that you don't have to resist what was. You don't have to resist what is. Or I should say, you don't have to resist the idea around it. You don't have to be in resistance to the experience. I'm going to leave you with that, Virgo. I feel like this, oh, thank you. What they're saying is, when you can, when you can look down and you can look at this as artwork rather than, oh, something was there that shouldn't be. You know, one of the things that I'm learning is when you're doing pottery, a lot of times you think you're making something and it comes out completely different. And so many of them are referred to as happy accidents because nobody would have planned it or intended it, but it became beautiful. Can you look back over the beauty? Can you appreciate the blips as beauty? As, if not beauty, just as necessity, as part of what needed to happen for you. And I'm going to leave you with that, dears. Take care.